Hey everybody, Steven here. I want to shoot this video. Sorry if it looks like I'm bouncing and all that. I'm actually doing cardio right now. I'm on the bike. I dislocated my shoulder yesterday, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut to a video. My son was actually shooting the video. I was trying to do a jump. So we're gonna go ahead and cut over to that real quick, just so you can see. And it's hard to see on the film, just because I don't have my shirt off. You don't actually see it drop out of the socket, but I guarantee you I dislocated my right arm on that. So the way I end up having to edit all this stuff, I'm gonna have to stop this here. So let's go ahead and click over. Okay, so as you see in the video, I dislocate my shoulder. No audio on it, just because I end up cursing in it. My son, it was funny because he was like, "I'm gonna delete the video, Dad," because that wasn't good. I'll just go ahead and delete the video. I was like, no, keep it. Dislocated my right shoulder. Now I've done this a bunch, okay? First time on my right side was playing rugby. I've since done it. I clipped my foot doing a tripod transition over a tree, which is a move, not move. I thought I was gonna actually fall on my left shoulder, so I held on with my right arm when I shouldn't have. Dislocated it. And then now with this jump, and if anybody's dislocated the shoulder, it sucks, man. It's super painful. That's my right side, so 3 times total there. I've dislocated my left one over 60 times. The initial one was actually skateboarding, fell on my shoulder, boom, dropped it out of the socket. I thought it was broke. I thought my upper arm was broke. Continued to push it in and out of the socket, which really dumb. Don't do that, okay? And haven't had surgery yet. I don't want to do that yet, just because I'm a personal trainer. If I don't work, I'm not gonna get any money, right? And so this is how I earn a living. And a lot of times I'm doing it with things that it's not a necessity for me to do, but I like doing it. And my plan is in the next, 5 years, I really do wanna push and get the surgery done. Just because it creates more stability. You end up ripping through, it's like a Z pattern of ligaments on the front of your shoulder that hold it in like a cage, called your glenohumeral ligaments. Once you rip through that though, I mean, those are stretched out. The stability there is gone, right? So I don't power lift, I don't do any of these heavy, crazy overhead movements because the shoulder can go to the socket, right? If there's enough force, it will. So with this, learning a lesson from each dislocation is very important in my opinion. Now, some are just freak accidents, but the handful that I've done on this right side, I've learned. I mean, with this one, when you jump, if anybody knows how to jump properly, like the arms are supposed to go straight. They go forward like this. And I got scared that I was gonna clip my foot. In the last second, my brain went to switching and pulling my arm out to the side. Now, I can move my arm, right? But this is probably like the extent of the movement, so moving it up too high or anything like that, there's just a lot of inflammation in there, so it doesn't wanna do that. I can do it passively, to about there, and that's not painful if I ask my arm to do that. But the front of the shoulder, like pulling back, is not that bad. I can pull back, but certain positions right now are just rough. In about 2 weeks, I'll start incorporating more of my post-rehab medical exercise stuff, internal, external rotation, working on the scapula, right? The shoulder blade muscles, posterior shoulder girdle, all these different things to ensure that I can strengthen that. I do end up having to do a lot of strength training with it. Every now and then I end up slacking, and I have been slacking, honestly. Recently, I've been working on a trap problem where it's been causing a lot of tension headaches, and the front of my neck is very tight. So I've been more focused on that than working on the shoulder stuff. If I don't keep up with it though, I get these problems, which, like I said, putting off surgery, which would be good for it, but you end up being, with physical therapy and all that, you're out 6 to 9 months. Right? And I can't do that per arm right now, okay? So putting that off for a little bit. I'm only 32, got a little bit of time, and I'm still waiting. They are a lot better now than when I initially did these dislocations, but I'm still waiting a little bit for better surgeries and stuff like that, so that I'm not out as long, or recovery's better. You know, you don't want to have to go under the knife a couple times because it's a botched surgery, or the technology is way better, a couple years, and you should have waited, all these things. Main purpose of this video, I know that's kind of a long intro though, is The day after the shoulder dislocation, my legs are fine. I know a lot of people that end up getting an injury or something like that, and they're super upset. I get clients that get like that. Maybe something's happened outside of the gym, and they're like, well, I can't work out, man. I got to take time off. I was like, what's the opposite of that, right? Your legs work, right? My legs are fine, right? I'm doing legs today. Now, I can't run like I typically do for my warm-up. I walked for 5 minutes, and now I'm on the bike. I can still work my legs, okay? So we got a leg workout on the docket today. I can still use this other side. So I'll be doing my running, I'll be doing legs this week. I'll be doing a little bit of movement, whether that's abs or natural movement stuff. This week, skill-based work that I can work on. I shot a video of the importance of getting up off the ground without using your hands, especially since dislocated the shoulder and I needed that support where I had to hold my arm to get up off the ground. I'll work on these skills now while I have the chance. It's not my, I don't want to call it an opportunity because it's not that, but it's not my period of time where I can just come up with excuses to not do anything, right? Screw that. There's no reason if you're still capable, right? And I'm not that bad. That's the other thing, right? I don't talk to people about it. Like I just tell them, hey, I can't move this because my arm isn't in the best condition right now, and that's fine. But I don't need anybody's pity, or I don't need them saying, oh, that sucks and this and that. That's fine, right? I learned a lesson about pulling my arm out to the side, right, and really focusing on keeping my arms in tighter, right? You learn these things through this, so I'm glad I did the dislocation because I learned something from it, okay? And now it presents an opportunity to focus on other things with my program right now until this gets better, and then I can work on these other things, okay? So I'll be going and doing chiropractic stuff, getting KT tape down on it. I'll probably do some acupuncture on it, and I'll work on, like I said, the next 2 weeks really hammering down on the stuff I need to do for my recovery period. It always reminds me of a thing I heard Triple H, the wrestler, say after these guys get horrific injuries, which is you get your 5 minutes to complain and cry, and then now we're focusing on your recovery. You're getting your surgery, and then we're focusing on your comeback, right? Same thing here. Life punches you in the face, right? You just keep moving on. It's that opportunity to focus on something else when it comes to this. And I get it, some people get horrific back injuries and stuff like that. Maybe you are out, right? Maybe that's your opportunity to focus on not only the recovery portion of it, right? I always think you should be doing something, right? Unless you're just completely immobile, which is pretty rare. Focusing on something, right? But let's say you are completely immobile. Now it's your opportunity to focus on like research and other things that you can be looking into about the human body, movement, whatever it is. Same thing you see with people that are highly successful in business. So I love guys like Gary V, right? Gary Vaynerchuk, if nobody's familiar, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel, right, about business stuff. Phenomenal. Which, looking at all of his stuff, like a lot of different things in there that I love that he has great quotes about. But the overall global picture of what he's talking about is really just you're lucky to be alive, right? If you're complaining, you're losing, right? If you complain a bunch, you've already lost, right? Looking at your losses as not only that they're yours, but it's an opportunity to learn, right? You learn, right? Sometimes you maybe aren't gonna learn anything, but you're gonna move on. You don't dwell, right? That's what I see with injuries, is a lot of people just dwelling on the fact that well, I can't do this. Man, screw all that noise, right? Like I said, opportunity. I'm gonna focus on my legs right now, right? And then the work that needs to be done on the shoulder in order to get it back, to me, that's the exciting part, right? And it should be for you too, is that recovery portion, because you will come back better and stronger, right? Everybody that I know that I've seen that high level athletes and stuff like that, they have an injury, they bounce right back, right? There is no other option than to put in the work to get what they need done in order to make that comeback, right? So just wanted to shoot this for anybody that's gone through this, right? I remember the first dislocation and being so upset by that and just angry, upset, pissed off about it, because like, why would this happen? This can't happen, right? Can't play rugby now, or I can't skateboard now. And then pulling out of all of that and ultimately being fine. Yes, it's created problems now where I'm doing certain things, but it's fine. It's part of the journey, right? You have to have that. I always love that saying, man, the sweet isn't as sweet without the sour. And that's true. When I'm doing very, very well, I'm more grateful for where I'm at, right? Injury happens, I get back to where I need to be. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to even do that, right? Because some people don't. So.
All right, sorry for the abrupt cut over here. Somebody came into the gym, and I always find it awkward because I have the music off and all of that up at the gym. So they're just kind of watching what I'm doing. And it's a little bit awkward because I know they came there to listen to music and work out. And then they start making noise anyways. It just interrupts the video. So, but like I was saying, I mean, just extremely grateful for when I do have kind of everything to the point where I'm not suffering from an injury or anything like that, right? Just extremely grateful for that. And lucky that I'm able to do what I'm able to do, right? Movement-wise, because I know that there's people out there that, and I know it's maybe seems cliche, but they don't have that opportunity, right, to move in the same capacity. And then I get to go to chiropractors that are very, very good at what they do and that they can help me as opposed to just having an injury and I got to figure it out myself, right? So I am going to kind of document some of the stuff that I end up doing with this injury and highlighting some of the stuff that I do on the medical exercise side of things to progress and help this injury. I mean, right now I'm not going to do anything like I said. I'm probably going to wait about 2 weeks to move out of this acute state. I'll see how it feels at that point. Might start doing light stuff then. I don't want to do anything too soon where it hurts it and I stay in an injured state for a long period of time. Even though I am working legs, I'm making sure that I pick things that aren't using my arms. I'm not going to be doing barbell squats where I have to pull my arm behind me or anything like that, or even goblet squats, something that I'm actually loading the shoulder somewhat, okay? So I worked out for about an hour and 15 minutes today, 5 minutes walking on the treadmill on an incline, 12 minutes on the bike. I stretched after each round and really worked on my mobility stuff. I did some MoveNat, skill-based stuff where I'm working on getting up off the ground without using my arms. And then everything that I actually ended up doing. So we did 3 to 4 rounds on everything. We did leg extensions, leg press, lunges, and hip ups. 15 to 25 reps on everything, right? Kind of did a little bit of a scale and a progression with all of that. Picked things where I wouldn't need my arms and I wouldn't need to tense my shoulder to do anything with it. Like I said, I'm not trying to agitate the shoulder more when I'm doing my exercises. So keep that in mind if you are coming off an injury. Really, if I know I'm telling you, hey, you can use another body part that isn't affected, but make sure that you're still smart about what you're doing and not picking something that maybe is keeping it in an inflamed state, right? Like I said, I'm not doing barbell back squats or anything that's actually loading that shoulder in any capacity because I don't want to keep it in an inflamed state or make it worse, right? Same thing with any of the exercises that I chose in terms of weight. I don't need to, like for instance, the leg press. It's a machine that I'm doing, and I think that's the good part with the machine is in terms of isolation that if I have an injury, I can kind of move away from something that incorporates everything, right? And I think everything has its own place when it comes to this stuff, and that's where these machines can come in handy is I can isolate that. I can go a little bit lower in weight where I'm not having to clench my shoulders in order to keep everything tense throughout the movement, thus the higher reps with everything. So be smart when you're doing this stuff, guys. But don't use it as that excuse to not do anything at all, right? I'll be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's cardio. Tuesday's going to be my natural movement stuff. I'm going to work on what I can with this shoulder. And then, like I said, Wednesday, I actually go to see my guy, Dr. John, for my shoulder over at Zova Chiropractic here in Tulsa. And I'm going to keep pushing on doing what I can right now, even with this injury. Okay? So if you guys have questions, comments on any of the stuff that goes along with dislocating your shoulder or anything like that, hit me up, especially on the medical exercise stuff. I'm going to be putting out that video showcasing why it's important to learn the skill of getting up off the ground without using your hands, because like I said, I think that's super important for everybody to do. But like I said, look in the next couple weeks for these videos covering my recovery period with this. And it maybe seems like the world's over when an injury initially happens, but I mean, it's always going to progress forward as long as you're pushing on that end. I know so many people and clients that just kind of give up the second this stuff happens because it's something that seems like such a huge setback for them that they just give up, right? And I'd rather keep pushing forward than to regress at all, right? Even though this maybe is initial setback, like I said, I learned from it. I learned what's going on with my jump mechanics, okay? So Very, very important to learn from that. Or if there's nothing to learn from it, move on. Don't dwell. Like I said earlier in the video, man, I'm so sick of seeing people just sit there and dwell and complain when it's not giving you anything. Like, I love Gary Vee when he says nobody cares. If you're going to sit around and complain, like, nobody cares. And it's true. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about my shoulder injury, right? It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Let's progress forward, right? Pick myself back up, keep going. So thank you guys so much for watching this rant on kind of what's going on with the shoulder injury. Look forward to those other videos and my documentation of the recovery period from this injury. And being smart about that, I think, is extremely important. Not just moving to move, but having a focus with that as well. So look forward to that. If you guys want to follow along with that, hit the subscribe button for me. And like I said, man, thank you so much for watching.